Okay, I think we're ready to go. Excellent. It is 6:30, and I'd like to call this meeting of council to order and acknowledge that the city of Winkler is situated on Treaty 1 land, home of the Anishinaabe, the Cree, Ojibwe, Dakota, and Dene peoples in the homeland of the Métis Nation. We respect the treaties that have been made on these territories, dedicate ourselves to a future based on respect for all peoples moving forward to a harmonious, prosperous future together. You will also note that Councillor Marvin Plett is not in chambers this evening. He's joined us via Teams to call in. With that note, be it resolved that the agenda for the regular council meeting of January 13th, 2025 be adopted. Mover.
Andrew?
Marvin.
Marvin is the second. Any changes to that agenda?
Nope.
All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. It takes us almost immediately to our community spotlight. Big Brothers Big Sisters is presenting to us this evening. I'll ask you to come to the podium.
Do it after. We'll do it after.
And state your name and your presentation.
Hello, my name is Janelle Mayfeld, and I'm the
Good evening,
Executive
Janelle.
Director for Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Pembina Valley. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share what our agency is doing within the city of Winkler and across Pembina Valley as a whole, and how we are supporting the future generation of Winkler. Am I looking at you? So what we do, we intentionally match young people who are facing adversity with mentors. So that's a very blanket statement. We work with youth who may be facing adversity, things like family challenges, mental health issues, identity or belonging struggles, or difficult living situations. By matching youth with mentors, they help young people gain confidence, improve self-esteem, feel like they belong, they do better in school, and they build healthier futures. So our volunteers, which we call mentors, or bigs, they become consistent, caring figures in a young person's life. These relationships are supported by screening, training, and ongoing support from our organization. Okay, Judy.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Let's see if I can. There we go.
So why does this matter? Every major challenge in our community today, you look at mental health struggles, poverty, financial insecurity, and disconnection, they all have roots in the experiences of our young people. If we want a healthier, more connected, and more prosperous Winkler tomorrow, the most effective action that we can take today is to invest in our children and in our youth. So mentoring is a proven solution. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Canada and the Pembina Valley, we are an accredited national organization with standards that ensure safety, accountability, and measurable results. So our programs are backed by more than 100 years of evidence and evaluation. So everyone loves a return on investment, loves the stats and loves the numbers to back it up. So an astounding $1 invested into our Big Brothers Big Sisters mentoring programs returns $23 to society.
Wow.
So that is up from $18 the last time they did this study, which is fantastic. And the way that it's returned to society as a whole, mentored youth are 17% more likely to be employed. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I'll just kind of touch on my favorites. 63% achieve post-secondary education, which is huge. My personal favorite is 98% believe that they make good life choices, and more importantly, 96% say that they're happy. Those are big numbers. These outcomes are directly strengthening the future economy and well-being of the city. So the financial reality, which I know that we're not alone in the fact that it is grim for a lot of agencies in our region. But you know, you may be wondering why I'm standing in front of you now and why I've been in the role for 6 years and this is the first time you're seeing me at this podium. The truth is very simple. Until now, we have managed. In the 6 years that I've served in this role, municipal funding has not been something that our agency has needed to pursue, but we are here now not because that we want additional support, but because we need it. So only 5% of our annual budget is guaranteed through provincial funding from the province of Manitoba, more specifically the Department of Families. Before our fiscal year even begins on April 1st, that funding is already allocated to unavoidable fixed costs, our Big Brothers Big Sisters of Canada membership dues, insurance, accounting fees, you know, all the fun things. But you know, the misconception of our agency is that a lot of people think that Big Brothers Big Sisters of Canada pays us, when in reality we pay them thousands of dollars every year to be a part of the, you know, national hub that is Big Brothers Big Sisters. So this means that the only guaranteed funding that we receive each year is spent before the programming, staffing, or service delivery can even begin. While this grant increased, surprisingly, by 10% this past year for the first time in 11 years, it was only by 10%, and the increase amounted to just $1,700. So it doesn't mean that it's not meaningful, but it still doesn't match the rising costs of everything. So there were, oh, sorry.
Oh,
Back.
one back.
Sorry, got a lot to say on this topic. The remaining 95% of our budget must be raised through fundraising, donations, and grants, sources that are increasingly unpredictable and difficult to rely on in today's economic climate. As demand for mentoring service continues to grow, our financial sustainability is at serious risk. Due to our financial situation, we were actually just forced to make the incredibly difficult decision to sell our office space. We had to pause programming and reduce staff hours in December simply just to keep our doors open. While the sale of our office has provided short-term relief, it is not a long-term solution and does not address the underlying instability of our funding model. We are now at a pivotal moment for our agency. Without a sustainable solution, the future of Big Brothers Big Sisters of the Pembina Valley is uncertain. If stable funding is not secured, our agency's days are truly numbered. We do important preventative and life-changing work for the children and youth in this community, and we believe that the City of Winkler understands the value of early intervention, mentorship, and investing in the next generation, and we sincerely hope that the city will step forward to help ensure that these vital programs can continue. So secured, reliable municipal funding is not just support for our organization, it's an investment in the well-being and future of our community. Okay, sorry. So we are asking for secured municipal investment to ensure that our mentoring programs can continue to support Winkler's youth. Our request is $10,000 for the year of 2026 and $5,000 a year for 2027 and 2028 to support our efforts in the City of Winkler. So just a little bit more on the social return on investment. So our mentoring programs will provide measurable outcomes and accountability, strengthen the future workforce and economy, build a healthier, more connected Winkler, all while showing support to a local nonprofit that has been serving the community for 50 years this year. In 2026 is our 50th anniversary. Thank you.
Nice.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
So together we can help each young person reach their full potential and thrive. Every child in Winkler is a future taxpayer, business owner, and community leader, we hope, or they might go down a different path without, solid role models in their lives. But to, focus on the positive, whether they reach that potential depends on the investments that we make today. So together we can ensure that Winkler thrives, not just next year, but for the next generation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would be happy to answer any questions that you
Well,
have.
firstly, thank you
Yes.
very much for the work that you do in our community.
Thank you.
It is appreciated, and 50 years is
Yeah.
certainly an achievement,
It's
and
wild.
you've made a difference in many lives.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
that part is really good to see. We appreciate your presentation here today as well.
Mm-hmm.
Your timing is excellent because we're literally 2 weeks away from heading to annual planning,
That's good.
where we do finish our budgeting
Yeah.
process. Our challenge is very similar to yours in many ways,
Yes.
in that there just simply is not enough money for all the request and all
Yeah.
the need that is there. But speaking to us 2 weeks before we go is probably excellent timing,
Perfect.
if nothing else, so thank
Perfect.
you.
Well, I'm glad we rescheduled then for now because it's supposed to be here in December, but the weather didn't play the game, so.
There we go. Council, any additional comments?
I just thank you for doing such a great job. I think there's a lot of kids benefit from this, and probably the mentors also benefit from this, I would think.
How many kids do you guys have on an annual basis?
So for 2025, we hit a record 125 kids
Okay.
that participated in our programs. So it's a little bit what we consider a mentored youth and what we report to national, for example, are two different numbers just because if we have a workshop, for example, like we had a financial literacy workshop with Access Credit Union, that was a one-off and it was just a 2 to 3 hour workshop. That doesn't technically count towards nationals numbers because it wasn't a long enough interaction, for example. However, in the community, that makes a huge difference, right? So we kind of have our national number and then the actual number of kids that we have, served through, whether it's a workshop or a mentoring relationship or whatever the case is. So 125 is absolutely incredible because when I started, Michael, it was like 9, like maybe. So we did 125 kids with very limited funds, right? Probably the worst financial year that we've had. So imagine what we can do with even more money, right?
Thank you.
And if I could just make
Please do.
one point. The nice thing about because I know you can look at us as a national organization, however, we are an agency on our own. We pay our dues and we thrive on our own and we struggle on our own. That being said, we are able to look at the needs in our community and tailor the programs that we offer around that. So for example, we just started a big play with the Winkler Flyers. We didn't have any boy programming going on at the moment because there is no males that want to volunteer. So, partnered with the Flyers and the guys come and play floor hockey and it's only once a month for an hour and the kids are literally tickled. Like they are putting them on a pedestal and then beaking them at the same time. And it's amazing to see just like even that hour a month. So would love to see that, expand. But that's something that we're able to do at a local level because we see a need for it. We also made a workshop for grade 5, 6 girls. That was a 1-day self-sign up because all of our programs have wait lists, right? So just those types of things we're able to do to really assess the needs and fill those gaps where we can.
Excellent. Thank you very much for coming this evening, for sharing a little bit of the work that you do, and trying to drop in some education for council as well. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good
Thanks.
evening.
Good to see you all.
You as well, Janelle. Going back to our meeting, missed a step. Thank you, council, for pointing that out. Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular council meeting of December 23rd, 2025 be adopted. Mover.
Ryan.
Second.
Peter?
Any thoughts or comments on those?
I got one.
Please.
6.5, Head Start program. I believe, and I thought there's a couple of us opposed that program, which we usually record in the minutes, correct?
That would have been, I do know we had a couple against, and I do agree. I believe you're correct.
Yeah, but it's not shown on the minutes.
I don't know if we always do that, like there's certain times where we record.
Where we request
Or
a recording.
it's a request a recording.
Okay,
It has to be requested first.
really?
It's supposed to be.
Could I request that whenever there's an opposition that we record it? Because I think it'd be nice that it always is. Or no?
For people who are listening online and not here, Deputy City Manager Wendy Clausen stated that in order for there to be a recorded vote, that it needs to be requested. Now, as you've just mentioned, Don, your request would be that it's always
Well,
recorded vote, and I would kick that to City Manager
We
Penner
can look
to
at that.
take
Yeah.
a look into that and make
Yeah.
sure that that makes sense.
In other words, whenever it's not unanimous, you'd like it to be recorded.
I think it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Okay.
Okay,
We can look at
whatever, that's my
Yeah,
thoughts.
I
But
don't
here,
have an issue with that.
here, I would like
don't
it
either.
recorded
Sure,
on this one that,
we will do that.
yeah.
I was also opposed on that one, so if we could record that, that'd be great.
Okay, anything further?
Nope.
All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. Thank you, Marvin. That takes us into our correspondence. We have one piece of correspondence, a letter from the RM of Pembina with regard to South Central Regional Library. It is a note to the library board. We are copied on that as we have 2 members on that board. Nothing further there. Takes us to finance. Be it resolved that accounts payable in the amount of $766,597.40 as approved by the Finance Committee be approved for payment. Mover.
Andrew?
Second.
Don?
As always, check register is attached. Any questions?
This is a lower one than usual. Looks like we're running out of money or what?
Projects are coming to a close.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Carried. That takes us then to our financial report. Be it resolved that the financial report for December 2025 be received for information. Mover?
Andrew?
Second.
Don?
The report is attached to make it as simple and straightforward for us to see variations. They are highlighted as they typically are. Is there anything there or otherwise that anyone has a concern with? I found in particular a number of revenue lines above expectation was good, but particularly the utilities above expectation is a significant number.
Are ice rentals above? That seems like a really high number.
I think we were very conservative in our estimates on what ice rental would be,
Mm.
knowing that we were doing a renovation and not knowing exactly what that would look like.
Correct.
But we kind
That's
of
right.
knew this other ice would be booked solid too, no?
I think when we did our 2025 budget, we didn't know to what extent.
Oh, okay.
And we knew that there'd be a significant impact from Centennial being closed, so
Fair.
it was, I think, a little bit hard to guesstimate
Fair.
the amount.
Yeah, no, it's nice to see that's
And
above
we
budget.
didn't want to see a negative number.
True, it's,
No.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
No further questions? All in favor?
Yes. Yes.
Carried. Thank you, Marvin. Takes us to Finance Committee. Be it resolved that the minutes of the Finance Committee meeting of November 20th, 2025 be adopted. Mover.
Andrew?
Second.
Don?
Minutes are attached. Any thoughts or questions? All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. That takes us to our tax sale resolution. This is something that we do on an annual basis. We have a few whereases, but mostly we'll skip that and go straight to the be it resolves. Be it resolved that the designated year for which properties in arrears be offered for sale by auction be 2025, meaning all properties with outstanding taxes from the year 2024 or prior. Be it further resolved that in accordance with section 363.1 of the Municipal Act, costs shall be the actual costs incurred by the municipality for each parcel listed for sale. Be it further resolved that the tax sale be held October 29th, 2026 at 2 p.m. at the City of Winkler Council Chambers. Mover.
Andrew?
Second.
Michael?
Jody, anything further we need to know? We've been very blessed over the last number of years that we have had resolution to all of our tax sales. I don't know that we've had one in the last 20 years that I know of. We've been fairly close a couple of times,
Been close.
but there's been last minute payment of those outstanding taxes each time. And that's something it's good to see. Hopefully, we're in that position again this year. This would be the day after the municipal election, so city manager and team will take care of business, I would imagine.
I imagine we would, yeah.
And hopefully, there's no business to be taken care of that
Indeed.
day. Any other questions, thoughts by council?
Yeah, I was thinking of that as well, and I was wondering, is this date set by the province, or did we can be set at a different time?
So we could pick a date, a different date than this one.
That would be David Martin's
Dave
Director of
Martin's
Corporate
Director of
Services.
Corporate Services. We did not think of the election, I have to say. So if council wants us to move the date, we might be able to.
But really.
The truth of the matter, though, is council's not involved in that sale in any way, shape, or form either way.
I don't think it matters, but, and like mentioned before, so far it always got canceled.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will be again.
I would say unless we run into something and the province tells us that there's a reason why it couldn't be close to that, I don't see any reason with us not approving this. I'd ask council to say there, though.
No, it was just a question.
And it's a good question at that. All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. Be it resolved that the mayor and all of City of Winkler Council be appointed to the Board of Revision and the city manager be appointed as the secretary of the Board of Revision for the year 2026. Mover.
Peter?
Second.
Ryan? Marvin?
Ryan beat you just by a little bit, guys.
That's okay.
Very straightforward. Jody, maybe just for those that may not know, if they're listening intently to this meeting, what exactly the Board of Revision does and what this is about.
Indeed. Every year, there is opportunity for people, whether it's for your residents or for a business, to challenge the amount of their assessment. And so we are required to set a Board of Revision each and every year, who would be essentially a quasi-judicial board who would hear appeals on those assessments. And after that, regardless of council's decision, there's always one further step where the applicants could appeal further to the municipal board. But this is just a step in the process of, I would say, transparency and accountability in government to allow people to appeal their assessments.
Thank you. Comments from council? All in favor? Carried. You potentially added one more meeting to your schedule. Be it resolved that the attached utility arrears be added to their respective tax rolls. Mover.
Marvin?
Marvin got it. Ryan got the second. The list is attached for your review.
So this is
Names
from last
locked.
quarter?
That is
Yep.
correct. The number seems to be down.
You know, it's interesting on these ones, like, it depends on which quarter it is. You'd probably be better off changing it or comparing it to the same quarter of the previous year,
Okay.
not necessarily the previous quarter.
Okay.
But even then, there's just fluctuations all the time.
Fair.
Yeah.
It was good to see that we don't have, other than one number of some significance, but not very big numbers. I know we've had, at times, we've had some very big numbers
Yeah.
on it. This time, not to say that 2,500 isn't significant, but to have that as our biggest number is good, I think. All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. Takes us to Protective Services. Be it resolved that the Winkler Fire Department report for December 2025 be received for information. Mover?
Michael?
Second.
Ryan.
It's attached. Any comments?
No, I mean, they ended up eclipsing their previous year total, so once again, they were busy. And I think the nice thing to highlight there, they received $250,000 for their ARF truck project.
That was really nice to see, that the province recognized the value of our submission, and we're able to support on a very oversubscribed program.
Yeah.
We're able to support us, so very thankful for that. All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. Moving then into Transportation and Utilities. Be it resolved that the minutes for the Transportation and Utilities Committee meeting of November 18th, 2025 be adopted. Mover.
Marvin.
Second.
Andrew?
Minutes and notes are attached. Any comments there?
Not unless you guys have questions.
Lots of stuff going on. All in favor?
Yes.
And that is carried. That takes us to Health and Welfare. There is, I'm going to read the whereases here, and then I'll get Jody's help explaining it, so we understand what's happening where we thought we had an appointment and now we have to tweak. So whereas the City of Winkler is required to appoint a citizen representative to the Boundary Trails Health Center Foundation Board, and whereas Council previously resolved that Harv Giesbrecht be appointed as Winkler's citizen representative to said board for a 2-year term commencing January 1st, 2026, ending December 31st, 2027. Therefore, be it resolved that the aforementioned resolution is hereby amended and replaced as follows. Therefore, be it resolved that Harv Giesbrecht be appointed as Winkler's citizen representative to the Boundary Trails Health Center Foundation Board for a 2-year term commencing April 1st, 2026, and ending March 31st, 2028. Jody, help us understand, just a
Do you want
a
a
date
mover and a
change?
seconder first, or?
Excellent idea, thank you. Do we have a mover?
Yep.
Marvin.
Don.
Don got the move, Marvin got the second. Thank you, Jody, for catching that.
Yeah, this is just a simple case where we had a resolution earlier. We had the term wrong, and the board wanted us to make sure we had the right term, so we just have proposed the amendment of this resolution.
Gives Harv a few more months to prepare for his new
Indeed.
role. Any concern with council, from council? All in favor?
No concern, Marvin.
Sorry, Marvin, please go ahead.
No, no concern at all. In fact, I'm very pleased with both people have accepted the challenge. I think they're very well suited and looking forward to working with them in their capacity.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. And that takes us to planning. And a first reading, be it resolved that bylaw number 2361-25 be given first reading. Mover.
Don.
Second.
Ryan?
This is, Jody, a bylaw to do what?
Just to change that particular land from DR Development Reserve to R1 Residential Lower Density.
Perfect. And this bylaw, as always, a first reading gets it on the table so that the rest of the process can start. Make sense?
Yep.
All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. Be it resolved that the minutes for the Community Services Committee meeting of October 28th, 2025 be adopted. Mover?
Andrew?
Second.
Peter?
Again, attached, lots of stuff going on. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Yes.
Carried.
Henry? We missed 10.2, right?
I did indeed. Thank you very much for catching that. So as Marvin referenced, we do have 2 people who've agreed to serve. So I missed the second appointment, my apologies there. Be it resolved that Bernie Thiessen be reappointed as Winkler's citizen representative to the Boundary Trails Health Center Foundation Board for a 2-year term commencing April 1st, 2026 and ending March 31st, 2028. Mover.
Ryan.
Second.
Michael?
The nice part on this one, Bernie is already on the board, so he doesn't get any more vacation time. He can just keep right on going till March 31st this year and then start his new term, April 1.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Thank you, Peter, for catching that and pointing it out. That moves us down to
13.
delegations and hearings. Be it resolved that this regular meeting of council recess for the purpose of holding public hearings. Mover?
Andrew?
Second.
Ryan.
All in favor?
Yes.
That is carried. Jody, if you would please take us through how we're going to do these hearings, and then we'll get going.
As with our other public hearings, we will introduce the public hearing, and then if there's anyone here to speak either for or against, they may do so by coming to the podium and addressing the chair.
Thank you very much, Jody. That then takes us to the public hearing for variance number VA 2025-027 for 8575 Townsend Drive.
So we have the applicant here, Lloyd Elias, on behalf of owners Lloyd Elias and Yvonne Elias. The address is 8-575 Townsend Drive. The zoning is R1 residential, lower density. The purpose here is to construct an attached shelter deck, and the variance requested is to reduce the minimum rear yard setback from the required 25 feet to 15 feet. We have not received any objections to this application, and there is a note to council there too that explains a little bit of the intent for an attached shelter deck. And the owner did indicate that they spoke with their 2 rear yard neighbors, and they did not report any concerns. And our planning and engineering services do not have concerns with the application.
Excellent. Thank you, Jody. Is there anyone in chambers who wishes to speak to this variation? Does council have any questions of the variation before we close the hearing? Be it resolved that the public hearing for variation application number VA 2025-027 be closed. Mover.
Peter?
Second.
Don?
Don. Any comments? All in favor?
Yes.
Closed. Be it resolved that public hearing for variation VA 2027, be it resolved that the application for VA 2027 be approved. Mover?
Michael?
Marvin.
Michael, mover. Marvin, second. Any thoughts or comments on that?
No.
Very straightforward. All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. Be it resolved that public hearings adjourn and regular council reconvene. Mover.
Ryan.
Second.
Michael?
Michael beat you by just a little bit, Peter.
He's fast.
All in favor?
Yes.
Carried. I see no additions, no other business other than the appointment of a senior election official. Should I run through the whereas as well, Jody, or is it fairly straightforward to go straight to the resolution?
I mean, it's straightforward to me, but
You can read it.
you can read it.
Beautiful. Whereas Section 10(1) of the Municipal Councils and School Board Elections Act requires each municipality to appoint a senior election official, also known as SEO, who will be responsible to manage and conduct all aspects of municipal elections. Therefore, be it resolved that Wendy Clausen is hereby appointed to the position of SEO for the City of Winkler for the 2026 municipal election. Mover.
Andrew?
Second.
Don?
Don. Questions or comments?
Maybe get a speech from the.
Isn't that part of it?
Speechless.
I will say, Wendy, you've done this role once already, so it's very nice to see that we have somebody who's experienced in that role, ready to take that. Appreciate that you've agreed to serve in that way. Council, all in favor?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yep.
And that is carried. Takes us to questions from media or public relevant to this meeting of council. I see you've hanging out just watching the meeting this evening. Welcome here. Thank you very much for coming. Be it resolved that this regular meeting of council be adjourned.
Peter?
Second.
Ryan?
All in favor?
Yes.
Carried.